Hello, I'm Dr. Amjad Mirza, and you are watching Time to Talk Straight. As we all know, Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi has died in a helicopter crash while he was traveling back from Azerbaijan to Iran after inaugurating a hydropower dam. So now there has he has been buried now yesterday, and there have been a lot of speculations. The first statement that came out about this crash was from Israel, which said that they had nothing to do with it. Well, now I want to briefly explain about this guy, who he was. He was one of the youngest death prosecutors of Iran and was closely linked with Ayatollah Khomeini, the guy who was the leader of Iranian Islamic counter-revolution in 1979. He was aboard a 45-year-old aircraft, and since American sanctions were imposed on Iran, uh, they cannot buy any spare parts for their aircrafts or their artillery or whatever. So it is being said that it was an old aircraft and blah blah blah. But there were three helicopters. One was in the front, the president's helicopter was in the middle, and then there was another one behind that. And how come this helicopter suddenly disappeared from the radar and then ended up in a mountainous terrain and crashed and killed not only himself, but also the foreign minister and other dignitaries of Iran? The first question that comes to mind is, why were so many uh, high officials traveling in one helicopter? Normally, what happens is that only one high official, like the president, would travel in the helicopter, and the foreign minister would travel in another helicopter. My personal opinion is that this is an inside job, because this president of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi, he was removed from the contestants of supreme leader, uh, so that if Ali Khamenei, who is the current supreme leader, after him, who is going to become the next leader, religious leader of the country, uh, that was to be decided, and 6 months ago his name was taken out of the list. This committee is that is called Leadership Council, consists of 88 members, and it's called Guardian Council. So the removal of his name from the ultimate post of being a religious leader of the country is indicative that there were internal objections to the way he was conducting Iran. So my opinion is that his death is closely related to the internal contradictions of Iranian ruling elite. Iranian media is also now coming up with all sorts of conspiracy theories about this accident. Now, we know that Iran has been supplying a lot of drones to Russia against war with Ukraine. So they were very closely linked. But in Syria, Russians and Iranians were confronting each other over the control of that territory. One more thing that comes to mind is that in the area where this helicopter crashed was near the border of Azerbaijan and Iran, and this area inside Azerbaijan is got a vast network and infrastructure of Israeli intelligence, communication, as well as military installations. So that possibility is there, but I don't think that Israel would do this. Another speculation is that there might have been a bomb planted in the helicopter, or some technical fault had been maneuvered so that at a certain time the helicopter will cease to work and would crash by itself. In Turkey and in Pakistan, state mourning has been announced. Uh, in Turkey, all the theaters and cinemas were shut down, and there is an organization called Theater Long Live Theater uh, Initiative, and they have criticized the Turkish government for closing down all the theaters and cinemas and for calling uh, state mourning for a guy they called, and I quote, misogynist and bloodthirsty. So they say that his hands are, his hands got blood of many innocent people. Another thing that shows that this might have been an inside job is that while Ibrahim Raisi's funeral was being conducted in Tehran, the capital of Iran, the commander of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is called IRGC as well, and the Quds Force commander, Brigadier General Ismail, was holding a secret meeting with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps chief, Major General Hussein Salami, and discussing the future course of the country as well as the situation in Gaza. Now, Iran has to conduct an election for their president in the next 50 days. That their constitution says. But let's go back and look at this rogue regime in Iran, which, in the name of Islam, has held the Iranian people hostage since 1979. This President Ibrahim is accused of murdering more than 5,000 Iranian human rights activists, political activists in 1988. He is known as the Butcher of Tehran by many. He was the prosecutor of the death committee in Tehran, which was responsible for sending thousands of Iranians to the gallows. In 2022, you might have heard that there were a lot of anti-establishment and anti-regime protests which took place after a young woman was killed during torture in a police station for not wearing the hijab. And he used that issue to strengthen and to harden the morality laws, which basically are anti-gender laws and anti-freedom of speech laws. So Iranian president is dead. Thousands are mourning, but hundreds of thousands are also jubilant over this guy's death. He was creating havoc in the Middle East by supporting terrorist organizations such as Hamas and the Hezbollah, and also arming the Houthi rebels. You must have heard that in the ocean, this Yemen Sea and connecting Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Iran, this area, there were a lot of piracies like hijackings of merchant ships. That was all funded by the Iranians. So I think that the Iranian government had enough of him and enough of his war jingoism, and they want to retreat from this war in the Middle East. And Hamas is also now out of control of Iran because they want to negotiate a settlement with Israeli government. So in conclusion, the killing of or the death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi is a positive sign because an enemy of the people has been, he has got what he deserved. Thank you for watching Time to Talk Straight. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, look after yourself. God bless you all.